Hi, so it is one day before Christmas, Christmas Eve, and I'm here in Milan. Milan is the second largest city in Italy, and I've never been here before. It's got a population of about 1.2 million, and my son lives here, which is why I'm here today. Now, he just had a new child, so of course I've rushed over to see him and his wife and say congratulations to the world, to the baby. But Milan is a curious city. It's actually a city where people live in during the week, and then it's all about being easy to get out for the weekend. So a lot of people have flats in various parts, like in the skiing district or the lake district or just the general countryside, and they'll all flock out at the weekend. So it's very much a working city. And I've been told there are three main things to see. That is the Duomo, the castle, and this area here, which is the Canal. This has been here since the 13th century, so the 1200s. And it connects Milan with the Ticino River. These are indeed beautiful medieval buildings with great iconography on them. But it's said that actually in Milan, the pleasure of the city is mostly in the courtyards, and certainly in the new areas, the streets look like nothing at all until you walk into a courtyard, which opens up a whole new world. I believe this to be something of a national pastime in Italy. You see an awful lot of graffiti. This, however, is pretty artistic if you can see the face beneath the graffiti. Quite a few twizzes, and really Milan has very narrow and winding streets, so it's really quite suitable for compact cars. And here's one I haven't seen before ever. It's the Elettricia Open Start Lab compact electric car. Brilliant. Destruction that has become art. Clearly this was a wrecked bike and somebody's bothered to spray paint the whole thing white. That's kind of awesome. Of course Milan was a Roman town. They transferred the court here actually in the 3rd century. It was Emperor Maximus, I believe. But I guess it's one of those familiarity breeds contempt, because most of the Roman ruins were subsumed into the existing buildings during the late Middle Ages. You can see an example of that happening right now. So if you want some of the Roman remains, they tend to be built into the city as it is now. So you don't see that much still in remaining. There's a Tower of the Palazzo right there, and there's a gathering of ruins there, which is pretty much all there is in this area. Here's another example of what I was talking about, how the Roman remains have been built into the modern infrastructure of the city. This is in fact the end of the Circus, built in the 3rd century AD, and the tower has been built into a modern office block. So we're in front of the Castle of Milan, also known as the Puerto Giovanni, or the Jupiter Gate. It started its construction in 1368, and like lots of these buildings prior to the unification of Italy and the incursion of Bonaparte, it's had a very turbulent history. It was much, much later that they decided to preserve it, and now it's the home of a Michelangelo exhibition. Leonardo da Vinci has a permanent exhibition here, and it's a wonderful public space where you can explore the castle and the castle grounds, and to be honest, it's huge. So Milan is certainly busy and cosmopolitan. There's a lot of people around, and they seem to queue for three main things as far as I can work out. The pharmacies, I have no idea why, the street cafes, and for some reason, the patisseries. And I think that's up because they're all rushing to buy their panettone before Christmas Day. And of course, Milan is a 24-hour city, and at night, the lights are particularly beautiful, especially at the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, which is the world-famous shopping centre, and there are all the names you could expect here, with Prada and Gucci and just about everything. More spectacularly, of course, is the Christmas tree that they put up. It's just a beautiful shot of white, and you find people clustering around it to take their Christmas photos. Outside the Galleria, of course, you have the beautiful colonnades and the lighting down the colonnades, and the shop windows display all kinds of things with people hustling and bustling around you. And around the Duomo, the Christmas markets, just small stalls selling all those things you could ever want, including a huge range of really delicious street food. I was so tempted by this, but we have Christmas dinner waiting for us, so I can't spoil that. And of course, in the centre in front of the Duomo, you have the official Christmas tree. Now, this is just a snapshot of Milanese life and a taste of what the streets and the historic sites are all about. But I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you very much for doing so. Please remember, like and subscribe.